In the heart of the rolling countryside, in a small town called Green Valley, lived Sarah, a determined young woman who had always been taught the value of hard work. Her family owned a small piece of land on the edge of town, and Sarah had grown up working on the farm, tending to animals and crops, learning the ways of the land. But Sarah had bigger dreams than just working the family farm. Ever since she was little, she had dreamed of starting her own business, opening a bakery in town where people could gather, enjoy fresh bread and pastries, and share stories. She had a vision of a warm and welcoming place that would become the heart of the community. As she got older, Sarah began to make plans for her bakery. She worked long hours on the farm, saving every penny she could, researching recipes, and even practicing her baking at home. She could almost see her dream coming to life. But every time Sarah mentioned her plans to folks in town, they would smile politely, but shake their heads when she wasn't looking. "It's a nice idea," they would say, "but it's a tough business to get into." "Maybe you should stick to the farm," her father suggested, not wanting to see her get hurt. "It's what you know. Why take such a big risk?" Even her best friend Jenny, who loved Sarah's baking, was hesitant. "I don't know, Sarah," Jenny said. "What if it doesn't work out? What if the town's just not ready for something like this?" The doubts from others started to creep into Sarah's mind. Maybe they were right, she thought. What if I fail? What if this dream is too big? But every time those thoughts entered her mind, another voice spoke up inside her, quiet but firm. One day, Sarah was out in the fields, looking at the small hill that stood between her farm and the town. The hill was steep and rocky, and Sarah had always avoided climbing it. But that day, she decided she was going to do it. She was going to climb that hill and see what lay on the other side. As she made her way up, the rocks were loose under her feet, and there were moments when she felt like turning back. But each time she stumbled, she reminded herself. And with every step, the top of the hill drew closer. When Sarah finally reached the summit, she looked out at the valley below, where the town sat nestled among the green fields. In that moment, something clicked inside her. That hill had seemed impossible to climb, but she had done it. And if she could conquer that, she could conquer anything, even opening her bakery. With renewed determination, Sarah put her doubts aside. She spent the next few months working harder than ever, planning every detail of her bakery. She didn't listen to the naysayers anymore. She focused on her goal, driven by the belief that she could and she would. By the time spring rolled around, Sarah's bakery was open for business. On the first morning, she stood behind the counter, watching as people from the town came in, one by one, to try her fresh bread and pastries. The same people who had doubted her were now lining up to see what all the excitement was about. The bakery was a hit, and soon enough, it became the gathering place she had always dreamed of. As Sarah wiped down the counter at the end of that first busy day, she thought back to the moment on the hill when she almost turned back. She smiled to herself, knowing that the climb had been worth it, just like her dream. The moral of the story is, when faced with doubt, whether it's from others or from within yourself, remember that success starts with the unwavering belief that you can achieve your goals. The path may be steep and full of challenges, but persistence and determination will get you to the top. The only difference between I can and I will is action. Once you decide to pursue your dreams with all your heart, there's nothing that can stop you. Don't let the doubts of others hold you back. Keep moving forward, trust in your abilities, and remember, you can and you will. End of story.